Welcome back to Ginger Cat DIY, the place where I do stuff. And you can too. Imaginary friends, it's autumn. It's time to sit back, get cozy, grab your favorite drink, and let's do an autumn project together. Today, we're making candles. Now, candle making can be pretty easy if you know how. I can make candles. I didn't say I can make them well. Just as expected with most Ginger Cat videos, you can expect a lot of chaos. Take a look.
A waxy tray. A double boiler melty candle thing. A yucky strainer. Waxy spoon. A yucky pot for doing the double boiler. A mold. Another mold. Giant tweezers. What looks like gel wax is not. These are for holding wicks in place. One thing you can do is you can buy your own wax and then you melt it and put it in the molds and it becomes a new candle. One thing we do is we take everybody in our family's old candles that they don't want or don't use and we recycle them. So, candlesticks. Pillar candle. A brand new pillar candle. Candle wax sludge. Oh, whatever this is. A tiny one of these. Votive candles. More votive candles. Looks like my person only used one out of here. These are all your standard buy at the grocery store, buy at high-end shops candle wax. In ye olden times, people used these kind of thermometers. In fact, there you go. As you can see, very dated. But in 2022, we have this. 74 degrees.
I like to use the wick that has the wire on the inside so that it can be nice and taut on the inside of the molds. Measure your wick a little bit longer from the end and a little bit longer than the top so that you can tie a knot in the bottom. Here's a really simple knot: over, around, under, and through, and pull towards the end. Measure the rest of your wick a little bit longer so you can wrap it around the skewers. Those are the skewers underneath my mold right there. Snippy, snippy. You'll need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. These are just little wooden or bamboo skewers that you get for cooking. Something this size works as long as it's just slightly bigger than your mold. Take your wick and feed it through the bottom, just like that. Pull it through and pull. Now it's time to wrap the wick around the skewer. Make sure it's nice and snug. Don't pull too tight that you pull the knot out of the bottom, but nice and snug so it stands up nice and straight. This is why I really like the wire, because it wraps and stays standing up really well. Now let's wick the rest. Time for a clunky transition. Voila! All wicked. Let's melt some wax. Make sure you gather all of your supplies nice and close. Wax melts and it drips pretty much everywhere. So here you can see that the steam and the boiling water has melted all of the grimy, yucky stuff off of the materials that I've been using. Melted old wax into the sludge jar.
Let's check the temperature. All right, coming close.
Confirmed. Water boils at 212 degrees. Yay, science.
So we take the sticker off. And gently put that in there. We can put the little bits in. In it goes. And now we wait.
Carefully stir your wax so that the big clumps have a chance to evenly melt. I also dip my spoon back into the boiling water and melt some of that wax so that it doesn't have any kind of sticky buildup. Two of my 3 kitty cats were very interested in the setup of this video, and none of them were involved in any of the wax portion of this. I love my girls and I want to keep them as safe as possible. Mwah, Minerva. Make sure you unsheath your tiny little votives and use the really long tweezers. This helps you to put in these little tiny bits very carefully. Carefully. Put this one in very carefully. Oh, please be more careful than that. Use your spoon or the giant tweezers to fish out any wicks that are remaining inside of your candle soup. Some candle wicks will dissolve entirely when they are melted. These two, I'm going to guess they're probably from the pillar candles. When you're done with your double boiler, put the pot off to the side to cool. Put your spoon in there and then leave it. Do not pour this water down your drain. You will wax the inside of your pipes. Leave it. I usually continue to do my candle pouring in the kitchen, but I'm doing this in the art room. So I have a nice firm trivet, and I also have my floppy pink thing. This wax is way too hot at 186 degrees to pour, so we wait. Let's take the temp of some of the stuff around my art room. The pouring thing. My grandma's touch lamp. Halloweenicorn. Devil in a canyon. The next setting on my grandma's light. Laptop. Some of the figurines I've painted. My West Coast west-facing window. Needle-felted Chewbacca. Tangerine-flavored Mio water bottle. My creepy creature. My attempt at weaving. It's really hard to read the temperature of these touch lamps, so here's how they work. Boop, boop, boop. Has it cooled down yet? Nope, it's too hot. What happens if I pour it too hot? So I did. I marked it with this little pink clip. Pink means hot. And blue means cold, so let's try to do one that's less than the temperature that's recommended. Let's pour the rest of them at a more reasonable temperature. You can start to see some bubbles here, but what could go wrong with that? Especially the little blurb. That's really gross. It's cooled down too much. I thought I could get a little bit cooler, but so let's see what happens when we pour it. Look at these, well, not this one. Look at these beauties. They've been sitting for about an hour or two, and they look beautiful. So I am gonna go to bed. Oh, shoot. Oh, no. Yep, this happened. This is the next morning. They just caved right in. And, here's why. Wax equals hot. Aluminum mold equals cold. Wick equals room temperature. So, the aluminum mold made the wax cool down a lot faster on the outside, and it shrank in different temperatures. But with the help of the appropriate use of a heat gun, I managed to salvage the top. Beautiful, easy peasy. Let's try an experiment. Let's heat up the wax, fill up one of the sunken molds, and let's fill up the other one in a more heated mold. Of course we're going to put the cooled wax in. It got a little bit too cool, but let's try it anyway. Scrapey, scrapey. And here they are. This is the one that I poured into a warmer mold, and it seemed to help a little bit of sinking right there, but not bad. Here is the re-pour on the top. Still a little bit of a dimple, but again, nothing I can't fix with the heat tool. Of these two methods, they came out about the same. I think that I've always done the re-pour on top. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of into this one. It melted and then cooled in a solid form. I can't wait to demold this one. Actually, I've seen it. It's great. If you've made it this far in the video, we're gonna unwick. It's gonna be awkward. Let's have a montage. Good luck. I do love this one. It's so weird. It's kind of creepy. It's just unnerving enough that I'm going to keep this one around for a while. Get the cat hair off of it. Yep, this happened. This happens when you do not let it cool overnight. Try to stick back in and ruin the line. These are going to be a gift for my actual mother. Here you go, actual mother.
And there you have it. So what happened? How did it go from looking like this to looking like this? Hide your mistakes. Brought to you by Ginger Cat DIY. So what did I do to cover up my mistakes? This one turned out pretty okay. I smoothed it over a little bit with my heat gun and put it in the back of my display. Also, I displayed the pretty side and left the ugly side in the back. So for this one, I used tissue paper. Regular tissue paper, you just cut it to the length, heat it up a little bit, and it sticks with the wax. This is a little bit more metallic, so when I used my heat tool, it gave this really cool kind of beaten texture. This one turned out really cute. It just so happens that it was the exact same height as my ribbon. It looks very autumn with the burlap and the lace. And I just took a little bouquet of dried flowers, put it on the seam, and so the whole thing looks seamless from any angle. And I did this by making all my flowers even, bunching them up, cutting, and just a little dab of glue on the bottom to hold them together, and glued it along the back. This one's really fun. Find a container that's exactly the same size as your candle, and I put some colorful liquid on the bottom that meets the season. It goes really well with a red candle. Any defects that are shown can be chalked up to the glass. Oh no, what did the glass do to the candle? I didn't do that. I love how the chunky one turned out. It's weird, it's a little unnerving. I just used mica powders and brushed on some pigment. I wanted to do a flame sort of motif on this with red and yellow and orange and gold, but the more red I put on there and orange, it looked like meat. So I just ended up using a lot of bronze and gold. It's cute. I think that I'm going to put this one in the display somewhere. I'm going to be redoing the background soon anyway. So yeah, this little fella is really cute. I love this one. Ginger cat. Wasn't that only 5? Didn't you make 6? What happened to the one that you pulled the wick out of? The wick wouldn't go back in. It sunk. So back into recycling it goes. I've been making candles. They've never turned out this poorly before. It's a good thing I was recording it for all of the internet to see. 14 people of the internet to see. It's comes down to my molds. We've used these a lot and they're my favorite molds. It has the hole in the bottom so that you can just wick right to the center. It only takes one kind of wick, so it has to be specifically this size, and tried and true. But the problem is we've used them a lot, and this wearing on the aluminum is also on the inside, and you can see where the wax stuck. So we're gonna have to retire these as molds. And if you know anything about my channel, you know that I reuse whatever I can. I reuse palettes, I upcycle other materials, I reuse my paint rags, and these will have a future episode somewhere else. So for now, so that was it. Next week begins our spooky season, all October long. So the first one we're going to start with is going to be it's going to be awesome. Until then, you know what to do. Bye.
It is 90 degrees and I am making candles for an autumn episode. 75 degrees. Let's go see what else other things temperature are.
What? You can too. You can too. There's nothing in it, it's just beads. It's display. School bus. How does that dance go?